Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, Godzilla King of the Monsters is the supersized, supercharged sequel to the 2014 film Godzilla that served as the reboot of the huge beast and a springboard for an interconnected universe of films with King Kong and other Toho studio monsters being brought to Western audiences for what would be their debut appearances outside of Eastern cinema. Now, the Godzilla films have always been large, over-the-top, mega-sized smackdowns where the focus is more often than not placed solely on the creatures, and with Godzilla King of the Monsters, that is also true, to a certain degree. Now, the monster brawls in this film are massive. The scale of everything is ramped up to 11. Stranger Things pun intended there. The creature carnage is possibly unlike anything you have ever seen outside of a Roland Emmerich film, and why not? And yes, I know he did make a Godzilla film, but if you see these films as disaster movies as much as they are monster movies, then the level of destruction is actually quite tame. When you consider that we have seen aliens wipe out whole cities, a new ice age, and entire continents sinking into the ocean in many disaster movies beforehand. The creatures on display, beside the ever awe-inspiring Godzilla himself, are fantastic. Ghidorah, Rodan and Mothra, they're all so well intricately designed, and they all have their own distinct personalities, with Ghidorah having 3 personalities all to himself. And these personalities give a depth to the battles, and it seems clear that they all have their own, personal agendas, with Ghidorah's clear agenda being total domination of the other monsters. And each new reveal with these monsters is exciting and enhances the world building established in Kong Skull Island, that these titans once reigned supreme and were deified by an ancient civilization now lost to the ages. And once the fights begin, the film excels and more than delivers on the promised kaiju mayhem, with Ghidorah and Godzilla's first fight highlighting just how massive everything is, and just how loud everything is, and just how well designed everything is. And the cinematography, it plays into that, capturing each moment of the battles like in a martial arts film, capturing the awesome magnitude of each of the creatures at the height of their powers. But aside from all those positives that come with getting exactly what we wanted out of a monster movie epic, is the sheer stupidity of its human-based element. And the film comes crashing down like a felled kaiju whenever we cut to the human condition. Now, I anticipated this film to have a limited throwaway plot, which wouldn't have bothered me at all. What I didn't expect was so much of the plot, and needless plot, that it threatens to derail, and actually does to a certain degree, the entirety of the film. The characters themselves fundamentally complicate the film as a whole through stupid decisions, and the script itself is littered with plot holes and unnecessary devices that everything falls flat when we cut to them. The family dynamic doesn't work and has absolutely zero weight to it. Instead, it seems like you're watching some flaccid, boring game of cat and mouse when you could be watching the greatest wrestling match ever made. The actors are great, but their material is lost in poor scripting and laughable dialogue that is laughable for all the wrong reasons. Certain lines are designed to make its audience laugh, but fail to do so. And something that is clearly made to garner a heartfelt reaction is lost because it ends up being unintentionally funny. Charles Dance, the great Charles Dance, is utterly wasted, serving as little more than a plot device to enable another character. If you cut him out of the equation, which you could very easily do, and the other lead character could quite easily complete her objectives, albeit with some minor alterations in her execution. That is how pointless he is. You take him out and it makes no difference whatsoever. Millie Bobby Brownie, Millie Bobby Brown, however, comes out with flying colours, as does, poor Ken Watanabe. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I apologise, Ken. But his great movement is, it's lost. It's lost because of everything that happens before it. I mean, his one singular great moment, with all his natural gravitas, is shortchanged. And he feels shortchanged, and it appears shortchanged because of the lack of meaningful, powerful dialogue. And in the end, his journey is disappointing and feels wasted, and it's a shame. The fact remains that the human characters just get in the way of the spectacle. No amount of great acting can cover up a bad script, no matter how exciting the larger monster mayhem is. And for me, Godzilla King of the Monsters is two completely different films. On the one hand, it's the greatest monster spectacle I've ever seen, with sheer fanboy levels of kaiju mania. And on the other hand, it is deeply flawed and borderline disappointingly awful, thanks in large to its duff script and pointless, stupid characters. It looks fantastic, and at moments it really, really is fantastic. I smiled, I laughed, I was in awe of what I was seeing. The Ghidorah awakening scene is utterly magnificent, and Rodan entering the fray is one of my all-time favourite monster movie moments. It's just so spectacular. But the rest is utterly forgettable, and annoyingly so. Because that shouldn't be the point. Well, it should be the point. The trouble is, if so much emphasis is placed on your human characters and it isn't backed up fully, then what you get is the end result of this film. Disappointing, boring, wasted. Disappointingly, the only thing that can kill Godzilla King of the Monsters is pointless human characters. And for that reason, I am giving it a 6 out of 10, because that's how much damage the human side of the story does to this film. Everything else is fantastic. The scale, the size, the magnitude, the battles, the lore building, the ancient civilization stuff, that's what's interesting. The whole thing with Monarch is fine. I get it, I understand it, I want more of it, but I don't want to see the side stuff, the side quest. Monarch should be like trying to uncover the mysteries of it all, which is interesting. But then when you cut away to some family making duff decisions, it ruins it completely. So 6 out of 10, and I feel like I'm being a little bit generous there as well, purely because of the monster mayhem. So yeah, there you go. An angry review, bit all over the place. I apologise if some of my words got a bit mixed up and whatever, but that's the way I feel. That's just the way I feel. Hopefully I can write this down better for the Facebook page. So, what have we got coming up? Well, we have X-Men Dark Phoenix. Now, I was very excited for Apocalypse when it came out and was left utterly disappointed, so my expectations, I'm tempering them massively, because my least favourite X-Men movie just happens to be the third one, which deals with Phoenix as well. So, The Last Stand. It's amazing that the franchise actually managed to carry on after that. But there you go. So, that's what's coming up next, I think. Still trying to work on a few other things, some unboxings or whatever, but I'm just focusing primarily at the moment on getting these reviews out and improving the craft, if you like. So, I hope you like this video. If you do, leave a like. If you want to ask any questions or you want me to review something, leave a comment, or just leave a comment in general and I'll get back to you. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.